What is up? I am N.Divine and I am here for one of my coil builder reviews. Alright, so coil builder review of the Dang. Alright, seems like every reviewer nowadays has alien coils. They're installing alien coils. In my reviews, you get to see coils that you don't see in all these other reviewers' videos. And also, I go through and I put different builds in there. You get to see if it's good for coil building. If it's not every RDA has to be good for coil building. As a coil builder, you give me an RDA and I can do something cool with it. That's just what we tend to do. You could give me the smallest deck with the worst post and I could probably still make something cool with it, right? But in these videos, you know, you get to see them build. You get to see if they work in the deck that I am reviewing and stuff like that. Now, this Dang is by Twisted Messes and Homeboy OC. When you first hear two coil builders get together to do an RDA, you're probably thinking that's going to be badass for building. I mean, there are really good things about the building with this, but it is different, and that's what I'm going to take a look at in this video, show you what's really cool about it. I did a live first impressions on this. It was a little bit of a goofy video, but you got to first look at it. We put a build in there. I started to vape it, gave you my first impressions. It went well. I mean, I enjoyed it, that first video. I really did. I was super excited to get this. Anytime, especially Twisted Messes put something out, I grab it, man. The only Twisted Messes I don't have is like the 30mm, one of them. But man, anytime he puts something out, I will definitely pick it up. But this video is going to be more of an install video. We're going to look at it. I'm going to do the squonk, throw a couple builds in there, show you how to install, wick, all that good stuff. Good stuff, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoy. Let's do it. Alright, here's the Dang RDA. I have the rainbow. There's a couple colors. I'm not sure of all the colors, but I've been tending to go towards the rainbow. Here's the box. It says Dang and them original Batman TV show letters. Blank, blank, blank. And it says Twisted Messes and Homeboy OC. And on the back, nothing really. I always like these windows where you could see the deck and the cap. Always like that about the box. It's so nice box. You get, there's directions in the bottom. We're not even going to look at that. You get this cool Allen key that has a Phillips, a flathead, and an Allen key. So this should be all the tools that you need to do whatever you need to do with this RDA. You also get spare O-rings and a squonk pin. We will change out the squonk pin in this video. Alright, so here is the cap. It says Dang on it in them same letters. This heat treat, it's really nice. Now this was used. I did throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but you see we got this knurl up here, and we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 holes. So you can see there's a notch in the cap, and that will line up, and that will be a different airflow every time you line it up with one of them notches. So this notch will be the top airflow on both sides. This notch will be the bottom airflow on both sides. This notch will be full open, and then we're going to go to the top again. And what I mean the top is, right now all the top holes are open, and then it's going to close it down, and now all the bottom holes are open, and then fully open. Alright, and there is some in between holes in that too, so it is concave in there. This knurl's nice. Alright, that's what the inside of the cap looks like. There is a notch. You see how that notch right underneath the airflow there? so that when you put it onto the deck, it will grab onto it so you could twist off or whatever you need to do. It'll lock it into place. There is a notch down there. Alright, and this is what the cap looks like. That's the cutouts for the airflow. One O-ring, concave. I like this drip tip. I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but it's got kind of like a band at the bottom. Oh, okay, so it's like an Ultim drip tip with a black insert. I kind of like the looks of this, and it is kind of knurled as well, so it kind of matches the cap. Alright, there's an O-ring in there to grab it. This is a 810 drip tip. And then we're just going to put that back on. Now, to the deck. Now, the deck is very cool. It's a drop-in coil kind of deck. Now, it does say, I had this in the ultrasonic cleaner, so you're going to see a little bit of moisture. It says Twisted Messes here, Homeboy OC here, and then you got your plus and your minus. So one coil is going to go into this side, the other coil on this side, and one lead's going to touch that, one lead's going to touch that. Each coil has one screw. And these screws are super smooth, and it's just going to close in kind of this Delrin or ceramic block and push it up against them middle blocks. And it's only like 2 turns, so there it's all the way open now. That's how open it gets. And then we're going to go 1 turn, 2 turns, and that'll be closed. It's a little more than 2 turns, so them threads are probably pretty big, but this makes coil install pretty quick. Now the squonk is going to come right up in the middle here, I believe. I actually have to test it out. I haven't tested the squonk yet. And there are these little walls so that the leads, this can take big leads, okay? You could put your leads pretty long in here, but it does have these little blockade little things so that your leads don't like push out or whatever. Also to create juice wells here. So there's 2 little juice wells your wick's going to go into. It has 2 O-rings here. So you see this is deep. This is a deep deck. And when you put it up to here, and you see that chamber is fairly reduced. I mean, the airflow is right there, and then only half of this cap is really the chamber. So this is a pretty reduced deck. All right. I really like this deck. I like the looks of it. It's very simple. It seems like a good deck for like beginners or somebody that just wants to switch out their coils quick and, you know, just get to vaping really. All right. So let's check out this squonk pin. There's the screws for the, you know, for the posts. Alright, that's what it says on the bottom. Dang, Twisted Messes Homeboy OC, 385 serial number. I don't know what the hell these are. Does that mean don't recycle them? What is a CE? I always wonder, what is all this crap on the bottom of my RDA? Excuse me. But pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's check out this squonk pin. Alright, so usually when I change these out, what I like to do is, they're both the Allen key, first of all. What I like to do is, that pin is going to be attached to the positive on every one of these RDAs. It's always attached to the positive. So I like to put my finger on top of at least the positive, but usually it's just the whole deck, especially a deck like this. And then we're going to twist this guy out, and I could feel the positive moving. You could see it jiggling right now if you look, you see. So I just keep my thumb there, keep it tight. I don't like changing squonk pins out unless there's not a build in there. I don't really like doing it when there's a build in there because sometimes things will pull away and you don't want to be dealing with a loose positive pin. That's very bad. So I like to do it while there's nothing in the deck and I could check to make sure everything's still good. Alright, and now I'm all tightened up and I felt the positive tighten as well, so we're all good. Now we got the squonk pin is in. Alright. Let's check some builds out in this and then we'll build it up with some coils to vape. Alright, here's a pair of Alien Stags. These are basically 5 pieces of 28 with 36 fuse. I did these in a video a little bit ago. Now 5 wrap of these would never fit in here, but I do want to show you something. Now look at how long I have the leads in here. If I were to take one of these out, the leads are pretty long. Alright, you could get them down there pretty deep without having to cut them. And it's not like you would need one of them coily tools to cut the leads, you know. It's pretty forgiving. Alright. Got a pair of 5 wrap Enigmas in here. These are 8-ply, 2 frames, 28 gauge frames. 5 wrap. Fit in there nicely. Alright, here's a crazy staggered build. It's not a humongous build, but it's pretty big. And this would be a single coil install. I used the positive on that side, the negative on that side. You're going to fit a little bit of a bigger coil in there if you do a single coil, because you could put it on a diagonal. And if you see here, my lead to my coil is kind of sticking out. Alright, so if you bring it up top, you could have it stick out just a little bit from the post. It doesn't have to get into basically them post holes, and you could fit a little bit bigger of a coil in there. So, looks pretty good. Single coil. Alright, and next, what I'm going, look at how easy this is. Just boom, boom. Next, I'm going to try alien coils just to show you how easy this deck is. This deck isn't going to be for super humongous coils. I've tried a lot of the coils I usually use in these coil builder videos, and it just wasn't fitting most. Like the series build that I usually put in here, it's a no-go. Them big staggered builds that I usually put in here, it's a no-go. So for RDAs like the Rebirth, some of the coils that fit in the Rebirth don't fit in here. But where this deck kind of shines is going to be how easy the install is and how it squonks. I believe how it squonks. I'm actually guessing that it's going to squonk good. I can't be positive just yet. But this deck isn't going to shine so much with big coil builds. You can get creative with it, but it's going to shine more with simplicity. Just straight up simplicity. So I got my alien coil here. Watch how easy this is. You put it in there, keep the bar in there, 2 turns, and you're done. The coil's installed. I mean, it don't get much easier than this. You put the coil in, leave the rod in. You can lift it up a bit if you want. Allen key in the nut. You're gonna love my nuts. Tighten, and you're done. All installed, looking good, and then you just move them around to wherever you want them. You can lift the one up a little bit. So, simple coil installing is just, it's top notch. It really is, with how quick you can install coils in here and get them going. Alright. Alright, before I got another set of coils in here, I just wanted to show you what this is squonking like. So it's going to come right up in the middle like that. And it looks like it's sucking back down too. And then I guess it'll just fill up the thing. That's pretty cool. So it's going to hit your coils like damn near immediately. So just kind of squeezing up through little holes. That's pretty cool. So these things must go all the way down. These clamps must go all the way down, because that's, I'm not even pressing the button very hard. I'm not pressing the squonk bottle very hard at all. And it's just squonking away. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We'll have to see how it does with the coils in there too. Pretty neat. Now, like I said, this deck isn't going to be like a coil builder's dream, but if you want to make some fancy coils, I got some corrugated wire here, right? And I just did a 4-wrap around a 3/5. So let's say you wanted to do, you know, a fancy wire, but you don't want the ohms too low. do a 4 wrap around a bigger bit. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to cut my leads down a bit. And I have dual coil here. I just made these in, should be the last video when this is up. So I got dual coil. These are corrugated. These are what they like to call ivy wire. They're basically Fralians with a corrugated wire on the inside. And these are going to be just as easy to install as the aliens were. And these are a little bigger, but we get them in there like that, right? And the one looks a little higher than the other, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten down the one that looks a little high. He's tightened. I'll put my rod in here, bring this guy up a little bit. I'm basically just resting the rod on the deck. Alright, one more thing I want to show you that I didn't show you. This is a 24 millimeter RDA, and that's the notch that the cap's going to hit so it doesn't keep turning. Alright, so 3/5 bit. Got these coils, nice and neat looking, and just look how quick it is to just throw them in there. And it's a very cool concept. I'm excited to see how well it squonks. I vaped it already for a little bit, but let's see. And that's what they look like. Alright, let's glow these up and get them all wicked so we can vape it, and I'll tell you my thoughts.
Perfect.
Alright, coming out to a 0.08, which is pretty low, but it's the way I like it. Now, as much as I heat these things up, it's definitely holding some water in this RDA or some juice. I both squonked it and I also cleaned it out with water. I'm just hearing a bunch of water sounds in here. I think the coils are holding it too. But as much as I heat this up, this deck is not getting hot, which is pretty interesting. It almost seems like the insulators are kind of making the deck stay cool. Pretty cool. Alright. So 0.08 build. Looks like it's glowing pretty good. I'll get this all wicked up and vape it. back with the dang, just doing some focusing. Alright, the dang, I have the top holes open. I raised the coils up on this build. Now they're already 3.5 inside diameter. They're beefy coils, 4 wrap, 0.08. I raised the coils up and I got the top airflow on. In the first video I said it sounded like a broken kazoo when you raise them coils up. It cuts that sound off. Alright, so I watched Homeboy OC and Twisted Mess's video of this, and they were talking about the top. The top line is for coils that are a little high, the bottom line is for coils that are a little low, or whatever you like, you know. I like the bottom airflow still. I also like it wide open. Okay. So the 5 things that I usually look at with RDAs are looks, how it builds, the flavor, the price, and how it feels when you vape. In this one, I'm also going to look at how it squonks. I probably am going to start adding that because most things squonk nowadays. Tight draw. I do actually like opening up. I like the full bottom and like 2 holes on the top too. That's kind of what I do like. It's a tight draw, which I do like a tight draw on an RDA. Looks wise. Looks wise, this thing is fucking badass. I really like the looks, especially of this heat treated. All the decks are black. Something I did want to mention. Somebody mentioned to me about the pin. It is protruding, but it is borderline. The 510 pin that go. So on a hybrid device, you're going to have to make that judgment. The first video, I didn't even look at it, put it on the hybrid, and it was working fine. I had no problems with it. It's borderline. It protrudes, but it's borderline. So that's going to be your decision right there. All right, now, flavor-wise, I get good for this build right here is rocking right now. I was vaping it before I came live. This wasn't like the first time I vaped it when you seen it on camera. I've been vaping it. Man, it vapes really nicely. It feels good and the flavor is pretty damn good. This build's better than the first one I put in there. I forget the first coil build I put in here, but these corrugated frame staples, 0.08, are vaping really good. Full air open. It's cloudy, man. Let me squonk this real quick. The squonking's ridiculously good. Right to the coils. The Dot Mod 24 is my favorite squonk RDA because it goes right on top of the coils. My second favorite is like the Purge. I thought this was going to squonk like the Purge where it goes out to the cotton and it just shoots right into the cotton. This goes right underneath them coils, makes a pull, sucks back in. It's a genius idea. It really is. The deck is really something else. The squonking's awesome in it. How it all works together. It's not getting really hot because it's a little hot now. I've been vaping a little bit. It's a little warm now. It takes a little longer to get hot. The install is so fucking easy. I don't know, man. At first I was going to say in this video that I don't think this is going to win like Flavor of the Year award for an RDA. I was going to say easiest install of the year. Quite possibly it's up there, man. I can't think of anything that's quicker. Of course a 1 screw would be quicker, like the layer cake, I guess, but this is 2 screws. No screws interfere with the builds, and you don't have to share post. Think of another RDA that has 4 holes and only 2 screws. None of the leads share a hole. Think of an RDA that has 2 screws and no leads share holes. Think about that. It's pretty genius. I think this is a really cool idea. I think there's going to be companies that steal this idea for sure, and I think that's what's it called? What's it called when it's the greatest compliment is what is it called? I'll think about it. Hold on. It's like impression is the best form of flattering. right? I don't know if they feel that way about that, but maybe. Okay, price $65. $65 is definitely higher with the RDA range, right? Twisted Messages came out with the Ocula, which was a great build RDA. It was like 35. Homeboy OC just came out with the GOAT. It was extremely affordable. I think it was around like 45. If this was $65 from a new company, you probably question it. If it was $65 from a Chinese company, you would probably question it. These guys been around for a while, been doing this a long time. When something's $65, you kind of just got to trust it, you know? And I mean, you don't have to. You leave it up to that. You leave it up to that. Do I trust that I'm going to get my money's worth with $65? Well, these guys been out for a while, been doing it for a while. So yes, I'm going to. I bought this RDA. I had no problem paying $65 for it. I definitely wanted to try it out before I bought like 2 or 3 of them to do like giveaways or whatever have you. But I'm extremely happy with this RDA. I really am. I'm liking how it's vaping more now than I did, but I did really like how it was vaping. So is it a coil builder's dream? No. Now, just because it's 2 coil builders making an RDA, we assume that it's going to be an awesome coil building RDA, but that's not the case. It's obviously not what they were targeting. It's not what they were targeting, and that's fine. They've given us so many cool build RDAs, both of them, especially Twisted Messes, man. Every single RDA he's put out has been a building RDA. So I'm glad that they did something like this where, you know, just step out of that realm real quick and just show people, you know, something new that works great. For a beginner, I think it's awesome, though. I think it's awesome. Them leads could go pretty far down. There is insulators kind of covering the bottom of the RDA a bit, but I would not recommend bottoming out on them leads. Like, still cut them, you know? Just because you can put them in long, don't be an asshole and do it. Cut them a little shorter. Don't bottom out on it. I just don't trust stuff like that. I don't think it's a good idea. So Alien's game, I don't even think I have to do this. If I was an alien sent down to Grim Green to steal his dang RDAs, would I steal it? Absolutely, positively. I do recommend this thing. I like it a lot, man. I really do. It's one of my favorites that came out of the year. It's kind of funny because the Ocula I liked a lot too. And it was more for builders, right? But I think I might like this overall better, even though it's not really, you know, I'm not going to be able to fit like humongous builds in there and stuff. I still think I like this one better. They did a good job, and it's innovative, which is always cool to see something new. It's a breath of fresh air when you see new stuff, man. Everybody wants to do these top downs, but at least this is way different design. And I like it, man. That's all I got for this video. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow me on Instagram, n.divine83, if you want to support the channel, get in on giveaways. n.divine83 on Patreon. I'm out of here, man. I hope you enjoyed.